Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. I'm OP, and in today's episode we'll be going over some of the best highlights from today's LCK 2024 Spring Split matchup. Without further ado, let's dive straight into the action.
But it will still complete the backs.
One thing that I can say though, Wolf, is that it's the first time that we've seen a Maokai with a 10 CS advantage over an Aphelios.
Yes.
In this, because often, even in a center the sub for BDD back then in about 2020, I believe.
Yeah. 21, I think.
21?
Yeah.
It was when Gen G were very, very good in Spring.
Yeah. I think it was 2020 armor. So he's just very big, very early, and still maintains that 20 CS lead. Already back, putting pressure on with teleport. And Pioshik's here with level 6. And, I mean, Envy, you're in trouble. You're in danger.
Oh, dear. Well, Pioshik is flashing on top of him still. Envy is going to be able to do a fair bit. Flashes to get himself out of the way here, but it is not going to do anything. And now, there's a catfish out of water, Wolf, down there on that bottom side. As they do have Doive coming on over, and that might be the best way to deal with it. Beryl going to use that twisted advance, but Pioshik is focused on
ult.
Taking the Gromp, and Beryl is just going to be given up for dead. He's going to wander around a little bit first, though, and it might just be Envy that's able to get the kill, and Beryl doesn't want that to happen, so he's going to give it over to Doive. That was an odd series of events there.
Well, I think I'll help you out, but it's not going to happen. Meanwhile,
Doive is doid. He doid in the jungle.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know.
That was pretty funny.
Oh, you could just like control it like Mordekaiser's old.
Yeah.
Or Tibbers, which still exists, would have been more relevant.
Controlling it, you know, moving it around like a block clone.
Or Daisy. Oh my god. Okay, Doive will find a target here as Pioshik has to get out. Volt Breaker going to be used. Perfect boops and scoots, but he's not going to be able to save Pioshik this time around, and he had no flash as he'd used it earlier. And bro, finding something in the enemy
To get there, as this could be bad for Perfect.
Yeah, the apprehend going to be used as Perfect. He's going to have to run the flash forward from Morgan as they're both ghosting. And Perfect is going to be able to ghost a little bit better as he's going to dab and go home.
That plate goal is not going over.
No, and man, Beryl is just being annoying as there's a Volt Breaker on effort. He's going to have to flash. This will dive and not going to escape that. Cease and desist.
Clean from Pioshik to hold that one. As Karas has maintained a CS parity with his lane opponent, and BDD has been getting some flips off, but at least he's going to be relevant when we get to this later part of the game, as relevant as Azir can be on this patch. Maybe you're able to get a pick there. Fortunately, no Azir nearby. It was a little tough, but he just kind of missed it, unfortunately, as Karas is not going to get any plate gold down here, but will do a significant amount of damage to this turret with effort shadowing him here.
So he's going to have to back off. And speaking of backing off, BDD, very conservative play here.
And now, though, Karas is going to have to rely on the Sun Disc.
Well, there is the Nature's Grasp, and the Sun Disc does come down, but he's not even in range of it. And Emperor's Divide pushes a couple of members underneath. Pioshik happy to tank that one up. Nice little pick here, as now Envy having to deal with Perfect. His Gravitum has already been used, and there is the flash away and effort turning up. That will deter Perfect for the moment, as Morgan, a lot of damage to him with the Infernum. Envy, even though he's very far behind, still does need to be respected somewhat at least. As Shelly pops up, looking to see whether she can get some work done. Morgan on the flank angle, just dealing with soccer balls, just coming from everywhere. As now they're going to use such an interesting engage tactic. Doive having to get himself out of there, as now effort does devour Morgan, but is he going to be able to keep himself alive? Karas looks for the backline, finds the air, and Beryl is just going to scoot on past because Twisted Advance avoid all of the CC.
BDD with a good flash there too. He says, I am Azir. You cannot impersonate me. You think I miss those flashes? You think I don't flash those ults? I flash those. Hextech Soul, the first of Soul Point here really for KT here, but there's just no ability to contest, and now as Bro this far behind, you can't contest for the Soul. I mean, if they got that engaged to work, if they were able to get a pick there, you know, Morgan didn't build Stridebreaker because its item is not in a great place right now, but it also means that Darius doesn't really have that much of a functionality in this game as he went Trinity Force, and he may be dead.
Yeah, Perfect Pioshik just gonna walk at Morgan. Let's see what Morgan can actually do here outside of just dying. And he's just gonna die, unfortunately. Just too much for him to deal with. The cool lance now completed. Sundered Sky will mean that Pioshik is a legit fighting force in this game as well.
It's just so hard to kill him. And when your fellow is sitting on one item, barrel?
Yeah, he has found himself a Tom Kench and will interrupt his voyage, and that's going to be the end of that, as now Karis gets in there, finds two with the ultimate, but Beryl, twisted advance once again. Envy tries to pick one up, but BDD gets the heal, and he will survive. And now Vault Breaker onto Envy, all of the buttons being pressed, and the Aphelios is still sad. KT now thinking about a big purple worm and maybe an early trip home.
I think that might be where we're headed, Atlas. I mean, there's just no hope here. Even the plays that look proactive in the have picked wouldn't have been the answer necessarily. Is we're doing it again.
Yeah, Morgan is, I mean, Koshik could have just soloed in there. Deft and BDD turned up as a cheer squad, I'm pretty sure, as BDD managed to throw down some rocks.
Because of, unfortunately, how poorly the early game went for Morgan is...
Perfect thought about running away and then decided, hang on a second, maybe I can just kill them all.
What's
Emperor's Divide looked like it did nothing, but as it turns out, Perfect can't kill them all. There were too many there, saplings especially, so he will be doing a fair bit of damage. As now, yeah, Perfect just able to run away this time, and I think that that is the correct choice. As Bro looking to start off this dragon, Hex Gate, and Perfect's going to try it again.
There's no call. I mean, they're like, do we hit dragon? Do we get out? I don't know.
Well, some rocks do go down. Barrel's going in, as he loves to do. And there is the separation. Doive has to flash to get himself out of there, as the Nature's Grasp comes down as well, and Bro are just getting handled right now. These shurikens are starting to hurt, though. The apprehend is kind of massive. Emperor's Divide doing some work, and they take down Barrel. The dragon is taken by the Udyr, and it is a catastrophe now. Bro they didn't have the stats, they didn't have the items, and Koshik may not have the life. Here could be the revenge. The answer is no, actually. Koshik just a little bit too far ahead, and BDD, he's taken down.
It's on top of the backline there, as he tried to do in that last fight.
Oh dear. Koshik has found Effort, and Effort is going to get interrupted and destroyed. Trying to go for an Abyssal Dive there was a fool's errand, as of course Koshik can just use his R button. And so now the defense for these carries on the side of Bro is not going to be there. With Hextech Soul, I mean, what are you supposed to do? Emperor's Divide to push them away. That does keep Bro alive for the moment, but their inhibitor is still going to be going down. And look at this. I mean, Deft is already doing so much damage here.
So big. It's unreal. He's got Leandri's, and you were just not getting in here. He doesn't have ult, but doesn't matter.
Steal, question mark? As Perfect, he's just looking for Envy. He's going to dive all the way in there. Apprehend going to be utilized, but it doesn't really do too much, as now BDD has created a little pocket for himself. And Morgan in that backline looks for Deft, but Deft is able to take care of it. Takes down two that were facing off towards him, and Envy not going to stand here for much longer. Triple kill for Pyoshik, and that is going to be the last one. BDD with the alpaca thumbs up as they walk towards the Nexus. And KT, I mean, they used to be the meme. Clean 2-0, nothing to see here. That was often said sarcastically, but this was a pretty clean 2-0 here today.
Yeah, one of the more one-sided series we've seen, unfortunately, this season. Just completely outclassing the side of Bro, and new jungler coming in. You know, it didn't really work out. Still early days. Don't want to judge too harshly. It's KT bouncing back in a big way. We said they need a 2-0 here, and they got it.
These were some of the best highlights from today's LCK 2024 Spring Split matchup. Which moment was your favorite? Let me know in the comment section below. This is OP, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.